This is one of the, what my little grandson calls the piggies. This is a javelina. This is what Dad was hunting up at Sunset Mountain when the angels appeared. And they are vicious. And we have something that still have a herd of them in our backyard, basically. They're in Tucson. But these that are stuffed here, it's a trophy animal, and these that are in the den room, this one, there's a little story behind here that I want to tell you about Brother Branham. When he got this, it was a trophy, and every year they're in Tucson, there's a hardware store that has a prize, and they give a new rifle to whoever brings in the biggest pig. And this particular year, Dad had the biggest pig. I mean, it was a whopper. So they had to rush home. We got into Sunset Mountain. They rushed back to Tucson and rushed over to this hardware company because you had to register it before the deadline. And I mean, they were just minutes from the deadline when they got there. And it was a really nice rifle that they were giving away. So they got there. Dad jumps out of the car and runs in to the store, and right at the door there was an old man sitting there on the step, and he had an old rifle sitting next to him. And Dad stopped, and he said to the old man, do you have a big pig? And the guy said, so far, mine's the biggest. So Dad sat down next to him and started talking about his pig. He sat there and talked to him till the deadline had expired. And the old man won the rifle. And everybody's pig in. Well, the brothers that were with Dad, they got upset. Brother Branham, you should have gone ahead, registered your pig, won the gun, then you could have given it to the old man, but your name would have been in the record book as having the biggest pig this year. And Dad told him, he says, no, it's so much more important that the old man wanted himself. He says, if somebody had come in at the last minute with a bigger pig, than the old man had, he says, I'd have taken mine in so he could have had it done. He says, but I wanted the old man to win it himself. And I think that tells a lot about his character. Some of y'all may not have been to Jeffersonville. This is my dad's tombstone. There's the cemetery in Jeffersonville. And I don't have a close-up shot of it, but it has the 7 steps on the other side, and the messengers on another side. This is the cemetery right down the street. The tabernacle, if the camera was panned just a little bit to the right, you'd be able to see the tabernacle right down the street. This is the picture of Dad that my mom carried in her wallet. She said it was one of her favorite pictures. She says, oh, he's so handsome. She said, but look how tired. You can tell what a life he's had. And it all shows in his face. His whole life shows in his face on this one. So this was my mom's favorite picture. It was taken in Chicago at the time. I'm trying to think of the year before it showed me out here, when he had the problems with where they lied about him, and they said Brother Branham isn't here, and he was there. And they wouldn't let him speak because he had also agreed to speak for Manson Jose. So they gave him they told him, you either don't speak for Manson Jose and speak for us, or you don't speak for us ever again. So he made his choice and he went to speak for Brother Manson. Oh my goodness, how did this get in there? These 2 beautiful, beautiful children, my goodness. It's William and Angel. Those were mine. And you know, I put these in here because all you mommies and daddies that are here, with all these little kids that are this age now, I want to tell you, I took this picture yesterday. That's how fast the time passes. Really, really quick. And you've got the biggest responsibility right now is when they're this age. You know, being Sister Rebekah, I get a lot of phone calls, and they want to know what would Brother Branham do? How did he do with you for this specific thing? How did he handle this? How did he handle that? And the most heartbreaking thing is when these calls are from parents that have teenagers, that all of a sudden the parents have tried to set down rules, tried to set down standards, but for the first time, when they've never done that before. They have to know at this age. They have to have respect for authority at this age. Don't let the time pass. Take care of it now. One thing we were never allowed to do at home was sass our mother. Now, kids sass in a lot of ways. First time they stomp your foot, they're sassing you. Don't let them get by with it. We were given ultimatums. We knew, there was never a doubt in our mind what our parents expected out of us. They made it perfectly clear and they never compromised. But if you don't start it at this age, you can't wait until they're 15 and all of a sudden start laying down the rules without having trouble. When it came time, like with Billy Paul, when he turned 16 and he wanted a television set and he wanted this and he wanted music, Dad gave him an ultimatum. He said, I've got to keep an atmosphere here where the Holy Spirit is comfortable. And you can't have that at this house. You abide by my rules or you leave. And Billy Paul left. And you have to apply the same rules. Yes, he was a prophet. You think, oh my goodness, I don't have to have, that kind of an atmosphere. You do in your home. It's the same Holy Spirit. You have to keep that atmosphere in your home where the Holy Spirit will feel welcome. And your kids will grow up feeling that, and they'll always want that. When they go through the rebellion, they know that there's an ultimatum, and there's no compromise. It's the best thing that you can do for them. The best thing that you can do. Just ask Billy Paul. Brother Michael had told me that he thought there might be some of you that had some questions that you wanted to ask. If there are any questions, I'll do my best. They go around